Hello, I'm Lara Kulcharson and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online.
I've lived through pain in all its details, tasted suffering and loss many times. Yet I never once hesitated to convey the truth as it is, without distortion or falsification, so that Allah may bear witness against those who stayed silent, those who accepted our killing, those who choked our breath, and whose hearts were unmoved by the scattered remains of our children and women, doing nothing to stop the massacre that our people have faced for more than a year and a half.
That was the last ex-post from Al Jazeera journalist Anas al-Sharif, just moments before he was killed. He and 5 of his colleagues were targeted in an Israeli strike on a tent near the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City. Israel has claimed responsibility, saying Anas led a Hamas cell, allegations the group has denied. People he knew say he expected to be targeted and therefore posted his will online. Anas and his team are among over 230 journalists who have been killed in Israel's war on Gaza. With international media banned from covering Israel's so-called war crimes in the enclave, it's people like Anas who expose Tel Aviv's atrocities. While aid agencies warn of famine, disease, and deaths, Gazan journalists show us the faces and voices of those living through the horror. Rights groups have criticized the killings, saying he was targeted for his reporting, and rubbished Israel's allegations that he was a leader of a Hamas cell.
Just murdered an entire Al Jazeera crew. Israel just murdered an entire Al Jazeera crew, as in Israel just dropped a bomb on a tent housing a crew of journalists from Al Jazeera. Can you imagine for a second that any other group of journalists were murdered? Can you imagine what would happen if a CNN group of journalists, the entire crew, okay, the reporter, the cameraman, everybody were murdered? Can you imagine the public outcry? The worst part of this is that the journalists themselves have been saying that they know they're going to die, that they know that Israel is going to target and kill them, because Israel has been making it clear that it was going to target and kill them for years. These journalists have been watching as one after another, their friends and their colleagues have been murdered. It is a waiting game to see when their turn is coming.
This is what happens every single time. They target and murder innocent people and then afterwards come out with some fabricated Excel spreadsheets telling us that this is definitive proof that they were part of Hamas. Over and over again for the past 2 years, we have continued to see the targeting of journalists in Gaza. We have continued to see people put out the call to say journalists must be protected during this time. Like, we must do what we can to protect journalists. And again, every single time that call is put out, more journalists are murdered.
The vast majority of the Israeli people want to end the war.
So much so that thousands took to the streets of Tel Aviv on Saturday to denounce Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's plans to occupy Gaza City. They called for an end to the war, saying the occupation would only worsen the conflict. Opinion polls indicate that majority of Israelis want the hostilities to end and for the 50 hostages held in Gaza to be released. Across the world, pro-Palestinian groups also held marches to pressure governments to do more to end the war and suffering.
She's an old woman. She's an old woman. You can't arrest an old woman. You cannot arrest an old woman like this. Let her go! Let her go! Let her go!
TikTok workers in Germany are on strike, protesting mass layoffs in the company's trust and safety team. The social media giant plans to dismantle its entire Berlin-based moderation team, which reviews harmful content. It will replace them with automated systems, which means 150 people will lose their jobs to AI. And that's nearly a 40% cut to TikTok's local workforce. The app has been making similar cuts worldwide over the past year, despite CEO Shou Ziqiu telling US Congress in 2024 that he would invest more in trust and safety. Other tech giants, including Meta, X, and Snapchat, have also scaled back their moderation teams in favor of AI systems. Critics warn that replacing human moderators with AI risks overflagging harmless posts and missing truly dangerous content. The workers' union, Verdi, says the strike will continue, and if TikTok doesn't agree to talks, a long-term walkout could be next. Meanwhile, YouTube has announced that it will use machine learning to estimate ages to show users in the US appropriate content. The new feature will take effect on August 13th. YouTube says it uses different clues to guess a person's age. This can include the types of videos they search for, the categories they watch, and how long they have had their account. If the AI decides a user is a teenager, it will automatically set up features and protections suitable for that age group. But if the system gets it wrong, and the user is actually over 18, they will need to prove their age with a government ID or a credit card. Some people argue that the AI can't be trusted to accurately determine age and are concerned about having to share their ID, raising privacy concerns.
How is it going to dictate what's for adults versus what's not for adults? Pokemon, for example. I love Pokemon. I watch Pokemon clips all the time, but it's also an animated show just like Bluey, and it's kid and family friendly. So are they going to dictate that I'm watching that and then need my age verification or think that I'm not supposed to be watching that? Or if I play a Kirby game and watch a playthrough of it, and then I also go and watch a playthrough of like Resident Evil 6, how is it going to dictate what age I am then? I genuinely don't know.
YouTube's move comes a day after Australia banned the platform for children under 16, and shortly after, the UK introduced strict age checks. The UK rolled out the long-awaited Online Safety Act in late July. It requires online platforms to protect users from harmful and illegal content. But some creators say the system is not working properly.
Today, I woke up to a notification that one of my videos had been restricted because it violates local law. And let me really emphasize this. TikTok themselves don't have a problem with this video. In fact, it can still be watched by everyone else outside of the UK. It was removed under the UK's new Online Safety Act. We're less than 2 weeks in, and it's already taking down literal news reports. The news and flow of information has to be a protected space in every country. And by taking down my videos so that under 18s don't see them, that means everyone in the country over the age of 18 don't see it either. And again, I'll reiterate, this video wasn't even sensitive enough for TikTok to have a problem with it. This has to be called out now and as early as possible, because it starts with one video on TikTok, but before you know it, people in this country will have to be using VPNs to keep up to date with the news. Just let that sink in. And I'm 100% serious when I said, if this gets worse, I'm out.
Still on social media apps, Instagram's new map feature is making waves, but not for the reasons the platform hoped. The opt-in tool lets users share location tag content with followers. But confusion over how it works has triggered panic online, with users flooding social media with warnings to turn it off. They fear it broadcasts their live location to strangers.
Literally everyone can see your exact live location at all times. My location was automatically turned on and was being broadcasted to over 900,000 of my followers. I opened the first DM,
and it's literally just a picture of my house.
Instagram rolling out the maps that automatically was turned on for many users is dangerous and an infringement on our personal freedoms and privacy.
I had a lot of people messaging me saying, May, your live location is showing, we know exactly where you are. Go on Instagram, go to the settings, and make sure your live location is off.
Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri says that's not the case, insisting the feature only displays posts or stories you have geo-tagged, not your real-time location. Sharing is entirely optional, and users can choose to show that content publicly, just to followers or to close friends. While people have tagged locations in posts for years, Instagram Map changes the game by plotting these posts visually. For many, seeing their movements laid out on a map makes the reality of what they have been sharing feel more tangible and potentially risky. Critics argue the rollout lacked transparency and has unnerved users, especially women and marginalized creators, who already face heightened safety concerns online.
It is common for women to have abusive relationships or people that they are hiding from that can hurt them. I'm disappointed in Instagram for creating the map feature. I'm disappointed that we didn't have a choice. I had to go immediately and turn off my location. Tons of other creators and other people in general, not just women, are astounded. There was no consideration of personal safety or the implication that it has. There was nobody at that table who was likely a woman thinking about women, or somebody informed of the dangers that do exist for vulnerable people, including mothers of children who are escaping partners who have committed acts of domestic violence, female content creators with either dozens to thousands to hundreds of thousands of followers who could be put in literal danger. One of my friends, her face of her account was right above her house, so you could see exactly where she lives on the world map. I have female patients that have stalkers. This is really bad.
A major shakeup in the streaming world. Disney has announced it's going to phase out Hulu as a standalone app and fully integrate it into Disney+. The unified streaming service will launch in 2026 with pricing options based on the content you want. While the separate app will disappear, Hulu will go international, appearing as its own entertainment brand inside Disney+. International users will see the Hulu title on their screens starting in fall. It's the latest move in Disney's years-long Hulu saga after the company bought Comcast's remaining one-third stake last year.
They've already merged their ad system to make streaming smoother and generate more income. So why are they doing this? Profit. Disney expects the merger to boost engagement, reduce people canceling their subscriptions, and attract more advertisers. And analysts say this move could even save Disney $3 billion.
Hulu isn't disappearing completely. What's really happening is that Hulu's content like TV shows and originals is moving inside the Disney Plus platform. That means one single app, one user experience, but still with options. So if you're subscribed just to Hulu or just Disney Plus, don't worry, you're still able to pick what you want. But Disney is making it very clear. They want to bring everything under one roof starting next year. I'm like everybody else, I'm tired of juggling all these different apps. For those wondering, yes, you can still subscribe to Hulu on its own, at least for now. But this shift means that Hulu as its own app may eventually fade out. Is this the end of Hulu? Not really, it's just moving to a new home.
Stress is one of the world's top health threats, and in China, some adults are fighting with it with pacifiers. The comfort item, normally seen in babies' mouths, is trending for stress relief and sleep, despite doctors warning of health risks. And of course, influencers have put their own spin on it.
This is a really weird trend in China, but apparently adult pacifier is selling like a hot cake. A lot of the bloggers are saying the good things of using it, such as helping to soothe yourself and quit smoking. And if you really want to snack on something, instead of the snack, try the pacifier. How's the market react to it? Sold for over 10,000 pieces. What about the price? 20 yuan, about $3 or $4 US. And there are multiple different types, like you can select the different styles to go from it. Experts are saying this has something to do with oral regression, and essentially is people use pacifier to deal with the stress in their life and trying to find some comfort in using pacifier. Really weird. I don't really get it. But remember I say blogger was saying this could help with a variety of things, not just to soothe yourself. Expert did say, if you use it for over 3 months and those scenarios have not improved, you should probably look for other ways to deal with your real life issues.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.